is actually something I don't really practice. I wish I could, but maybe some of you are like me out there. I throw things in drawers, I collect things. If there's an empty counter anywhere, there's SD cards and lens caps that are going to be thrown on there and wires everywhere. Now, I did have the opportunity to become a minimalist. We had to redo our floors, so everything in the office had to be removed. Anxiety. Now, when it was time to put the office back together, my original thought was to rethink the space and come up with some cool new YouTube/photography studio. And I got notes. Have you guys seen any of these videos? They're great. They're like dream desk setup and also perfectly functioning office space or the minimalist space. Now, although these dream setups are wonderful, I really think you have to be honest with yourself. That's a little bit important too. If you're kind of a messy person and you throw things, then I think instead of having a clean, perfect desk, it's probably more important to think about having storage and where to put all the lens caps that you throw on the desk all the time. So my point is, instead of replicating someone else's dream, you have to adapt all these ideas to how you work and how you live and the amount of space that you have. Now, I think the other thing to think about your space is budget. I think a lot of us, and me included, was so taken by these desks that go up and down and move. I'm going to show you what I ended up doing, but I think what you're going to see from this little office tour is that not everything is perfect, not everything is beautiful, but I feel that that's real life. And that's why I wanted to make this video, is I want to show you the junky parts of the office and how some things are rickety and they don't work perfect. Some things are from IKEA, some things I found in the trash. But that might motivate some of you to, repurpose something that's in your house, in your space. And that might work better for, what you're thinking as opposed to buying a $1,000 desk. All right, we'll start with my workspace. I actually did a separate video on my editing sort of area here. I'll link that video up below. But this is a very popular hack, this desk. This is a countertop from IKEA. You can pick up a countertop that is used in kitchens. It's just butcher board. And you just need two things on the side to keep it up. And the two things that I had were from an old IKEA desk called the Hemnes desk. I actually don't think they make it anymore, but if you find it used, you could use the two side Hemnesize, and you could just put the butcher block on top. Now there is a popular side thing called an Alex, but I don't think those work as well. So I like the Hemnes because it's got a little bit more of a classic sort of look. And I ended up painting them black and sort of aging them a little bit. And so that's pretty much the desk setup. And the desk is about 2 meters, 6 feet or so. Now all this other stuff is in the other video, so to make sure to check that out, but I'll do it real quick. These are just gas pipes that I use to make this riser. This is a piece of reclaimed wood. I've got my Fujifilm Noir there. A minimalist would not put this here. I also have a little Eiffel Tower souvenir. That's also on there. We also have a BenQ monitor light. This allows you to have, light if you're gonna write or if you're gonna, need to see down here. So that is also here. Does this lens make me look fat? Now I promise you we're not sponsored by IKEA here, but this is an IKEA lamp I just picked up. I got rid of the other desk sort of lamp that was here. And this little wire here is also from IKEA. I believe it's for curtains. You can actually hang curtains on them with these little, these little clips. But I'm using it kind of as a photo. I can change out my photos here by using these little clips. And that's a nice solution if you want to display some of your art or anything in there. Okay, this thing. This is a Kallax. Also, remember, not sponsored by IKEA, but if you need storage, the Kallax. Now the Kallax doesn't come with drawers, but you can actually put drawers in here. And so I did a 4-drawer and 4 open space sort of configuration. And for those of you that aren't very organized, it's great to have a drawer for each thing. Sometimes what we do is we kind of put one drawer has too many purposes, where we just dump things that start to pile up. So if you specialize each space for a particular thing, it gets a lot easier to find things. For example, this drawer right here is only microphones. And before, what I used to have was a whole video making drawer that would be full of HDMI cables and would be full of like, monitors and all kinds of things. So I learned that it's probably better to put very specific things, like I have a little box for just lens caps, and that makes you a little bit more organized. Now, as a non-minimalist, you have to put things in the office that you like, that make you happy. Stuff. And one of those stuffs, one of those things is my Taylor Koa guitar. Not only is it fun to play, but it's really nice decor. Okay, the shelf to put more stuff. This is a super budget. Wait, I wonder where I bought this. Not sponsored by. However, this is a like outdoor gardening. You're supposed to, it's supposed to rust up and you put plants on it kind of thing. I just like its industrial super cheapness, and it is very cheap. I forgot how much it is, but it's not super steady. I wouldn't put anything incredibly valuable on there. And so it's kind of decor on the top, and on the bottom it's an attempt to get a little bit more organized. So this is from IKEA as well. What a surprise. And this is not established yet, but I am going to designate, like lens caps will be one, filters will be another. So my photographic gear, small little things like bolts and screws, this kind of, storage like thingy-me-bob is perfect for all those little knickknacks and wires and things you don't know what to do with. Again, a minimalist would get rid of a lot of stuff. And by the way, I have been getting rid of stuff, but it's hard for a non-minimalist to sort of let go of some things. And that is a good segue to the Fujifilm shelf. Stuff. The Fujifilm shelf. I think with Fujifilm, I've become a little bit a semi-collector. You don't need this many Fujifilm cameras. Just stop it right there. First of all, the shelf is a piece of reclaimed wood I got from a pallet, and I also just put these, these gas pipe mothers on there. But on the left, we have the Fujifilm X-T2. It has the 35mm f2 on it. Great camera. One of my favorite cameras, if it's drizzling out or if I want a little bit of a tougher Fujifilm just for photography, that's the camera I grab. The Rokinon 12mm, we've talked about that a bunch of times. That's a fun manual wide lens. That's great. The classic 56mm 1.2. Okay, here we have the Fujifilm X-T20. This was a rebuy, so this is not my original Fujifilm X-T20. I purchased this one in perfect shape for $400. It has the 23mm f2 on there, and on it, it has a little strap from Due North. These are very cool leather straps that you can get. Link below, not sponsored by, but Due North did send me this guy for free, and I love it, so I will give them a shout out. And I like the little button that sort of matches this. Okay, we'll stop talking about that. And then over here, we have the Fujifilm X-T3, which is if I'm going to do video and photography, this camera I definitely grab. Here we have the Martin Bailey print we spoke about recently, and of course Cap. Cap has been in so many tutorials on, lighting and focusing, and good job, Cap. I forgot to mention Dr. Strange is here. And also, this is a very cool tribute to John Mayer. He's just an amazing guitarist, and this album, Born and Raised, is one of my favorite albums. It's sort of like a wonderful road trip play album from beginning to end thing. And also, there's a great YouTube video on how they designed this album cover. And so I'll link that up below too, because it's really cool. The artist that did this is awesome. So much detail, and I love the colors, so that's why I got that. Yeah, and up here we also have the Nikon D700, a classic. Thanks to you guys who mentioned this D700, I picked it up and it takes beautiful pictures. Also, it's nice to always have a DSLR in your house. Okay, a couple of things here. The first thing is this print. This print is a very thin, but it's like vinyl. It's sort of like a paper on top of a vinyl, and it's from Bay Photo, but it's really cool because it allows you to get a very large, detailed print for cheap because it's part of this exposer system, it's called. And you can just pick it up and you can change out the print. I've never changed out the print, but that was one of the things I was supposed to do. but I kind of like this print. But check out the Exposer by Bayphoto. It's a good way to have a very large print. I would say that it's not dog or toddler proof, but still, if you have it in one space, you could get a very large print for a lot less money instead of getting a frame or anything like that. Also here is the Fujifilm X-E2 with the 27mm 2.8. So that one's on here. The Fujifilm cameras are so pretty, they're also part of the decor. So sometimes my Noir is here, and now the X-E2 is hanging out. Okay, cheap, functional, but non-minimalist. It's okay if everything's not perfect. Just try to be organized and try to use some of the things that you already have. Just repurpose old furniture. IKEA is okay if you don't abuse it too much. Now, I'm actually gonna make the office less minimalist by adding my statues in a second. I'll record that for those of you interested, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!